Good evening, folks. It's Thalan McRom, or at least evening for me. But hello to you and all that for whatever time of day it is when you're watching this video. So today I decided to do something a little different than what you've probably been seeing in my series, on my channels, which is we're going to do a base building game. And this is a base building game I thoroughly enjoy. Let me adjust some volume controls right here for myself. There we go. I'm actually going to turn that down. I don't want to get copyright struck here for the music in the game. There we go. Alright, so this is a game called Planetbase. I have played a lot of Planetbase over the years, and I've actually also played one of their other games, which is called Dawn of Man, which they made after they made Planetbase, which is another, colony builder game. And part of the reason I'm pulling it back out of my, dusty shelf of games, basically, is because I noticed recently they announced that they're making Planetbase 2, several of the improvements that they learned from making Planetbase and from making Dawn of Man to make Planetbase 2. So, I have no idea when they're releasing Planetbase 2. I haven't looked at the thing. I don't know. I think they're releasing it sometime next year. Is their target. But anyways, I'm going to play some Planetbase and show you what this game's all about. So we're just going to do a new game here. No, I do not need the tutorial. Pardon me. I'm still recovering a little bit from a flu shot that I got that has hit me like it's the actual flu. Anyways. So we're just going to do the standard classic D planet, because while I've played this game many times, it has lost my progress from being reinstalled and all that. But your goal is you're a group of colonists. In this case, you can basically assume this is Mars, and you're kind of setting up a colony, and you can choose a landing site, but basically tell you we have, a good light amount, meaning solar panels will work well for generating power. Atmospheric density is high, meaning we can use wind turbines to generate power as well. Sandstorm risk is high because sandy planet with wind. Makes sense. Meteor risk is low, meaning we shouldn't expect too many meteor strikes. But there we go. But they don't call it Mars, even though it's a Mars-like planet. But let's go ahead and start game. Oh, pardon me again. Alright, so our little ship lands. And drops off our first colonists. And the colors on their uniforms do mean things. The blue guys, those are your laborers to do things like mining, hauling stuff around, etc. The green guys, those are your botanists. They grow your food, as well as make your synthetic meat and stuff. I'm going to go just pause immediately. If I can pause. Oh, right. We can't really actually pause. Alright. I forgot. This game does not have push pause. But yellow is your engineers. Well, yellow/orange here, these guys. And then red is like your medics. And then that's a construction bot, which can build things. And that's a hauling bot, which can haul things. But first things first, we need to build a couple things. So we need to build an O2 generator, which we're just going to build the basic one right here. And we need to build an airlock, which we will just build right over here. And you see that little green line? That's a very important line, because you're going to click it, and click this, hit that, and now they're connected so that when they build it, they'll build a walkway in between the two. And no, I don't need that. And the airlock's how they access your internal buildings. So obviously, outside, no oxygen, can't breathe. And these suits do not have unlimited oxygen. You can see they've got an oxygen bar right there. And we're going to need them to be able to get inside and start breathing. Now, we're going to need a couple things. One, we're going to need a power collector. So I'm just going to put that over here, connected to the airlock, because it's an outside building. We're going to put up a solar panel. Do that. And then we're also going to get a water extractor. There we go. And we will do that there. And because the oxygen won't generate without water, and none of that will work without power. So we need to get all that going, and we have these resources. So your basic resources are metals and bioplastic for construction. And then your more advanced resources are things like spares for making repair parts. And then eventually you can also get basically circuit boards and some other stuff. And then this is all the food we have. And then let's see here. Inside we're going to need a dorm. Oh yes, I know. We've run out of power and O2. So we're going to build a dormitory here. Now, one of the important things to know about this, well, I've kind of built us into a bad spot here, actually. I just realized. Oh my. Alright, this is a terrible base location that I have selected. So we can't really build on these mountains, basically. Now, what I can try and do... if I'm careful and I angle up through this way, I might be able to extend my base out this way. Yeah. See, that's what I get for not paying attention to where I was landing. Come on, guys. I need y'all to finish building here. There we go. So they finished building that. We've gotten power. We've gotten all that. And I'm also going to go ahead and build a small wind turbine as well out here. That way we can get... because obviously the solar panel is only going to work during the day. But while we continue troubleshooting problems here, we're going to need a cantina. That'll be fine for now, there. But part of the reason that I built this off to the side here, originally thinking this was going to kind of be dead space, is because basically your dormitories can only have one connection, only one hallway in. Like other buildings, like your small oxygen generator, your cantina, things like that, they can have multiple connections, so you can use them as kind of pass-throughs. Alright, here we go. And then, now, obviously we've got the dorm. Actually, let me do something real quick. We're going to turn off the overhead there so we can see through the ceilings. Obviously, they can't use the dorm. There's no furniture in there, right? So we need to edit, and now we can build beds. And each bed takes a bioplastic, and we're just going to build a couple beds, because I like to have, you know, kind of enough beds for everybody to have one. And the other thing we're going to need, that's going to be kind of critical, is we're going to need this biodome. Come on. Can I not get it connected to that? Alright, well, we'll do it to over here then. Come on. Because the biodome's going to let us grow food and stuff. And we kind of got to get kind of the bare basics set up before we get too far along. Alright, so let's speed things up a little bit. There we go. Plus and minus increase our speed. There we go. Alright. There we go. I'm going to slow things down a little bit. Alright, let's edit this. Because we're going to need a water fountain so they can get water. We're going to need a meal maker so they can get food. And then they're going to want a table to sit at. There we go. And then we're going to put like a little TV right there, because the TV will keep them happy. There we go. And that's kind of the bare basics right there that we need. Minimum. Now, we are losing power because that one wind turbine is not going to generate enough power to keep us on by itself. But it's going to slow our drain on our battery here. And you can see how much wind strength we're getting, which will tell us how effective your wind turbines are going to be. And this tells you if it's daytime or nighttime over here, and how much longer you got in each. And then here's our biodome, where we're going to grow food. So first things first, we're probably going to want rice, because it grows fairly fast, but it's a little high maintenance. And then we'll do tomatoes as well. And you want these starchy ones because not only do they produce vegetables, but they will also produce starch, which you need to make more bioplastic. And so I usually do 2 fast-growing ones, and then I'll usually do, like, low-maintenance, kind of slower-growing ones, like mushrooms. And then I also we'll do some maize just to give us a low maintenance grain, because your biologists here, they have to come and maintain these things. All right, let's speed things back up and let them get that done. All right, how are we doing on things? And like once we're done, we can deconstruct the ship. And you hear that sound? That's an asteroid hitting somewhere. All right. The other thing we're going to want soon... Let's see here. Yeah, we got survival. That's great. We're going to want a processing plant. But before we do that, actually, let's build another oxygen generator. Yeah, the problem is I really kind of want to build where the ship is. Can we build a storage plant if we go over here? Aha! So it's going to let us do that. So we're going to do this. Come on, connect to that, please. There. So we're going to build a storeroom over here. And notice it kind of flattens some of that. So one of the things we can do is kind of a trick. You see how we've got this kind of low area here? Is if you're careful, you can basically lay out a building and then cancel a building to kind of flatten small amounts of terrain. It's kind of a trick I've learned to kind of make things a little easier. There we go. But what I can do is once I get this warehouse built, is I can then dismantle the ship and they'll load everything in here. Okay, we're topped off on power. Fantastic. But one of the things they plan to add in Planetbase 2 is they plan to add a tech tree, where there is a tech tree in this, but it's super simple. So if we go to here, no, return the game. It is base management. Yeah, here's the tech tree. Yeah, you basically have to buy these techs from passing merchants that sell you the technology patents. Whereas in the second one, they actually intend for you to be able to do your own research. So now what we can do is we can recycle the ship, and now they'll start hauling stuff in from there. And that's what these little hauler bots are for, these little blue guys. And all your other workers will also work on carrying stuff in. But your laborers and your hauling bots are your best at it. And you can eventually make more bots or buy more bots. But you can see we're getting it all stored up. And that'll free up this area for construction. Which I kind of want to do 2 things with this, since we're kind of running out of build space over here. And it's just really thick mountain pass. Eventually what I'm going to need to do is probably wrap around and get out this way with the base to get more building space. So, that's kind of why I want to start building out that way a little bit. But I'm going to... So, future thinking here, after they get this stuff all loaded in, I'm going to put in another O2 generator here, so that I can kind of keep base going that direction. Another airlock, and then I'm going to put in our mine over here. So what's a mine? A mine is how you get more metals. Because notice, we don't have another ship to recycle for metals, and we don't have to rely on, merchants coming by and selling it to us. Because we're not even close to ready for that. But it's things we're going to have to worry about. Eventually, you also have to worry about security for your base, because, you'll get, enemies coming in and trying to damage things. And the variety of crops you grow is actually important, because notice right now we have basic meals. So when they load vegetables and things into here, it'll make specific types of meals. So, like any three vegetables, you get a salad. Wheat plus mushrooms equals a pasta. Wheat plus tomatoes equals pasta. Rice plus mushrooms plus tomatoes equals pasta. Rice plus any meat equals pasta. You know, wheat plus any meat, burger. Maize plus any meat, burger. So, you want to keep an eye on these recipes because they need to eat something other than the basic meal, which a basic meal it just makes from a single vegetable or whatever. So if you just feed it rice, it'll just make basic meals. If they only eat basic meals, they will start to get malnutrition and have to go to the doctor, basically. So you kind of want to keep an eye on that. Like here we've got basic... See, now it's made some salad. And that's part of the reason I made this mixture of things over here. And notice, see how these things are deteriorating over time? Well, that's because they need maintenance by the guys. See, notice my botanist is over there working on it, and he's fixing it back up. Everything needs maintenance to some extent. Like, these things will deteriorate over time, and they'll need spare parts. That's what spare parts are for. So, a lot of management. They're almost done offloading all that. How much storage space? Well, I might have needed to build the next size up on storage. See, there's a meteorite back there. Eventually, build like meteorite lasers to shoot those things before they hit your base. The other thing we can check, go to base management, and you can see the milestones. So survival, basically survive for 1 day. Expansion, bring in new colonists and all that. And to unlock the next planet, you have to complete at least 4 of these. You know, things like that. And then the other thing you want to look at is your charts. It helps you see how much food you've got, power storage, water, etc. We're going to need to put in some water storage. And then stats, I think is what we want. So your status, that's how well your colonists are taken care of. Prestige affects like how many new colonists are showing up, how good the traders are showing up, things like that. Basically how nice your base is and how much it's talked about. It also has a double-edged sword of the higher your prestiges, the more like terrorists and criminals show up to attack your base. But that's where security officers come in. And eventually you get... Alright. I need y'all to finish bringing all that stuff in. Wow, they have already filled up the storage. Okay. I thought we would have more storage than that. This is why I normally only build the large ones. Okay. Yeah, we're going to build a slightly bigger storage. Good lord. Alright. I'm burning a lot more resources on this than I want. Good news is I'm getting some starch, which means I can start making more bioplastic. Alright. I'm glad that the construction bot will also carry building materials. Oh, there goes my little carrier bot. He got KO'd. They wear down over time. And eventually one of the things we'll build is basically a maintenance bay for them, where they can go and get maintenance without having to have an engineer come by and work on them. So in a minute, the engineer will get up, and he'll go put his spacesuit on and go out there and fix them up. And there he is, I think. That's him going out there. Yep, there he is. There we go. Last resources for our bigger storage unit. The other thing we'll put in is we'll put in another airlock too. So normally I go ahead and just build maximum size of these things right off the bat. But I was trying to be a little more resource conscious today. Alright, so let's go. The other thing we're going to want is we're going to want a water tank here. There we go. We're going to put a water tower there. And now that'll help us out as far as storing water goes. Because this is going to always take water. And then this is also going to take water. So let's go ahead and while we're sitting here, I'm going to add one more water fountain, people. There we go. There we go. An extra water fountain will help the people stay hydrated. There we go. That'll give us a lot more storage. we have 7 colonists, so I should really, really add 1 more bed. I'm going to add 2 more beds here to the dorm. Because that'll give us a little future-proofing for when we start accepting new colonists. Will actually be pretty soon. Because, one, we're going to start needing more labor very soon. Alright, come on, guys. Just grab the rest of those resources, please. Alright. We're almost there. There we go. The other thing to note is your water extractors actually are more efficient at night. You get more water. And this is telling you how much water you're using out of how much it's producing. Same when you look at the power. It's using that much, and you're producing that much. Alright. That meteorite was really close. That nearly took out our part of our power grid. Alright, how's our rice pad doing here? It's doing good. Come on, guys. 2 more items, and then I can start building over there. Alright. Now, let's see here. I wanted to do another oxygen generator. We're just going to do the small ones for now, because I need the space. There we go. Build that. And then we're going to build an airlock. Yeah, and we're going to connect it to here. I like to go through these. And then we're going to build a mine here. And connect it up like that. There we go. And basically what will happen now is my miners can go out this airlock, get to my mine, and mine more metals for us. Or raw metals, so basically. Come on, guys, I need y'all to finish building that. Oh, my construction droid died. Poor construction droid. Alright. Well, very sad. Can you fix the construction droid right out there, Mr. Engineer? We got a sandstorm. Which means it's dangerous for people to be outside. The good news is this guy can just now go right in here. There we go. Come on, finish building that. So that'll power the mine. Oh, what you doing now? Are you going to go fix the droid? Okay. It also slows down the game when that happens. There we go. But notice this guy's getting hurt while he's out there. And see, they're going to go work in the mine. And start extracting raw materials. Now, I don't have a medical bay yet, which is a bit unfortunate, because the mine has a chance of injuring people. And the other thing we're going to need now is we're going to need a processing plant. We're just going to build... Yeah, we'll just build a small one over here. There we go. And the processing plant will let us make more bioplastics and more metals. I hope we have enough bioplastic for this. Oh my. We are running low on bioplastic. Okay, well, we're going to need to build a landing pad. A little sooner than I thought. There we go. Let's focus on that. Can I pause that? Let's prioritize that, guys. Prioritize the landing pad, please. Because we don't have enough bioplastic to actually build our processing center, so we are going to have to buy some. This is one of the things you have to run into. You have to be very careful with your initial planning. There we go. Alright, so we're going to come over here. Landing pad, permissions. We can't do visitors yet, because you have to have like a proper landing pad. And I'm not going to accept colonists right now. We just want traders. There we go. There we go. The trade ship's landed. All right, we're going to click on this. And he has 0 bioplastic. And let's see here. What's his commission rate? So it's freelance trader. His commission rate's high. It's 65%. So, like, he's charging a lot for stuff. He does have another construction bot, though. And some ore. But what we could do is we could, say, sell him some of our vegetables. Because we're producing plenty of vegetables. And we'll take his money here. So notice, we're selling him 45 coins worth of stuff. But he's only going to pay us 27. This is not a good trader. You don't really want these guys. But we're going to commit that trade just because, you know, we need the coin. Especially if we're going to get bioplastics. And all of our people will kind of go over there and they'll carry stuff out. And we're producing plenty of vegetables, so that's not a problem. Yep, here we go. You got a guy who's injured already. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to disable the building. I don't want my workers getting injured because I already got one injured guy that we can't fix right now. So, there we go. We got our money. Traders left. We have to wait for the next one. See if we can't get some more bioplastics. Because we just need 3. I think we just need 3 to get what we need. And then we can start making our own. Those are... Oh, man. Yeah, we are having a real problem here with power. Yeah, we're going to need another generator. Alright, we're going to go for a maximum size wind turbine here. Come on. There we go. It's basically, without power, everything's going to grind to a halt. And we have... Actually, I don't think we have enough metals for that. And once the sun comes up, we'll be alright. Yeah, I think we're 1 metal short. There we are. Alright. Come on, I need a trader. Yeah, even with our... Okay, so we're starting to generate power now, but yeah, we're going to need more power storage and more solar panels. Thankfully, these only take metals to build. But until we get that set up, you can see here, they're having to do maintenance. There goes one of our spares. But until we get another trader here, we're going to be kind of in a bad spot. Come on, game. Don't die on me, wind. Come on. I just need a trader. Trader. Yeah, you can see this. The power outage kind of hurt our plants a bit too, so our poor botanists are having to work a bit of overtime here. Come on, I just need a trader. Why are you unhappy? Alright. Our botanists are unhappy. This is going poorly. Normally I do much better than this. Oh, here we go. Finally a trader. Okay. There we go. What you got? You have all the things I don't need. Now, they do have a drill bot. Patent, even. So we could actually build our own drill bots. If we bought that. And they even have a hauler bot, which would be nice. They have some carrier bots. But the drill bots basically go and work in the mine, so your workers don't have to. They're great to have. I love those things. But unfortunately, he does not have any of the things I need. What's his commission rate? So he's got a 35% commission. These are the guys you want to trade with. They have the best value. We'll sell him a couple of our starch, a couple vegetables, and we will sell him a couple medical supplies, just because medical supplies have really good trade value. It's one of the things I usually export a lot in these games, is medical supplies, because it's not that hard to make them. There we go. Exact change. Look, we get 65 coins from that guy. So that's a will. Easy. Those 35% commission guys are the guys you're looking for. There we go. We'll get him off, and that'll get us some more coins, which hopefully will let us buy the metals and bioplastics we need from the next guy that shows up. I need to get this. This needs to be a priority, guys. I need y'all to work here. Like, we can't have these plants dying on us. I got the power storage is low. We're working on it, game. Oh, there that goes. What's he waiting on? One vegetable. There we go. Okay. Alright. Come on. I need the sun to come up. There it goes. There we go. Power's back. Alright. Yeah, we're living on the edge here real quick. I get why you people are unhappy. I get it. Oh, there we go. We got a bunch of salads. That'll make them happy. They like salads. And we haven't gotten into the meat yet, which is why we're not seeing things like burgers and stuff. You have to build a lab to make meat. Because you're basically growing synthetic meat in a lab. How are our vegetables looking? Decent. I need this one fixed up. Come on. Come on, guys. Y'all work. Really worried about our power situation. Alright, let's recycle that so we can get our power fixed, because the power is going to be more important than our processing plant at this point. There we go. Come on. Get that wind turbine up. Because this large turbine will produce more power even at lower wind speeds. So notice it's already producing 20. And there it maxes out at 50, and where this one's maxes out at 20, so it's a lot more efficient. And see, now we're still losing power when the wind dies. But even as the wind gets up to just like a little bit of strength, we get a little bit of juice there, a little more. We're getting really just poor wind tonight. But if we can get some wind here, let's. All right, come on. I need the wind to stay up, guys. Come on, wind. So I usually build lots of wind turbines in this game as I get the resources secured. That way, you know, it helps me stay powered even at night, even when the wind's not the best. And I usually also build huge amounts of power storage. We're having a rough start today, because I just made some poor choices, I think. Particularly in base location and whatnot. I should have built bigger like I normally do. But that's hindsight. There we go. Alright. But notice now, even with this extra bit of income, it'll help us top off our power storage a lot better. Because one of the things we've been running into is we're not getting our power storage fully filled up. And that's a huge problem that you have to watch out for. Now I just need... So we've got plenty of water. Power storage, good. Good. See, we're 50% filled on our power storage. And we have... How much metals do we have? We have 2. What do these power storage units cost? We could actually build another small power storage here. We'll connect it there. Because I'd rather get some extra power stored up if we can. Oh man, that nearly destroyed part of our power grid. Nope, I don't want that. Alright. We need someone to come out and build that. Okay, good. Good construction bot. You never sleep. I like you, construction bot. Alright, yeah, see if we can keep... See, now we're getting even more power sort of. So that'll help us make it through the night without losing power now. We've got a good wind tonight, keeping the power going. That's good. Beautiful. Finally got our power storage problems on the run. And we just need another merchant to show up and sell us some metals and bioplastic. Man, we've chosen a terrible site. We're just getting asteroids all over the place right here. But this is the game, and eventually you end up with this giant sprawling base, because your goal is to kind of get to... So if we go here, so really kind of victory is, you know, get to 300 people living in your base. You know, once completing all these milestones is kind of the end goal. And it can be really tough. I've done it before on this planet, and I've gotten close on like the next planet, which is like an ice planet. And the hardest is like a dark planet, I think, where, you know, you only get small amounts of sun and stuff. You know, there's all kinds of different issues you can run into with some of the different challenges they have. Alright, come on. I just need another trader. Alright, let's keep an eye on our food. Looks like we're starting to stockpile a little food. Which is part of the reason I have not accepted more colonists, because before I accept more colonists, I want a larger growing area. Realistically, what I should realistically do, I think... Yeah, alright, we're going to plan out some construction here. So let's go to our processing center, since we're going to already have to buy the materials to buy one anyways here. You know, let me put one over here, maybe? Maybe. Alright, we'll do that. But we're going to pause. Anyways, alright, let's go over to this guy. Ah, he has bioplastics. Beautiful. I'll take it, all his bioplastics. No metals, though. Does have ores. He has a gun. And what will he buy? He'll buy our ores. Our spare, so we'll sell him some medical supplies. I'll sell him some starch, because we can get more starch. And I also want some of his money as well, to kind of match us up. There we go. 40% commission is also perfectly good. So that'll get us our processing. Well, let's recycle that. We're going to go with a small one, just because I need to build one. Processing center. There we go. There. Alright, so that'll get us a small one once we get the metals. And I'm putting it over here on purpose, that way, you know, the raw materials get dropped off in here, and then processed in here. So this is where you make your metals and your bioplastic. And they'll be able to just pick it up and drop it off in here. This is kind of my thought process. And then what we'll do is we'll probably put another O2 generator over here, so that we can work our way around and kind of build out into that direction. And eventually what we'll probably do is get rid of this landing pad and move our primary landing and docking area. Alright, how are our plants looking? Plants looking good? Yeah. Yeah, they're gonna actually do some work on the rice paddy. That's the other reason I don't like these high maintenance ones, is they just deteriorate so fast, and your biologists have to do so much work on them. I generally end up focusing on low maintenance ones, like the maize and the mushrooms, because there's plenty of things they can make with that. So if we come here and go into our recipe, so any 3 vegetables, salad. So my people get a lot of salads. And then, you know, wheat's not bad because it's not too high maintenance. Rice is okay if you can produce enough of it, but it is high maintenance. So, you gotta want to watch your mixes on that. You can eventually get some other varieties of plants as well. It's just like a different variety of like tomatoes and stuff. All right. So we've got those. Now we just need the metal. So we just need another trader to come along with the metal, and we'll be good to go. All right, come on. Yeah, I know. You're sad, Mr. Worker. Can we... Oh, another sandstorm. Let's see here. Sick bay. Can I get one snuck in over here somewhere? Sick bay is another one of those that you can't connect other buildings to it. It's only got one connection. So just trying to see if I can find a place where I can sneak one in over here. Because I don't really want to put it over here. I could put it like here. Yeah, that might work. Can I get it a little closer? Yeah, if we do that, then can I do like... Because I think I want another biodome over here, and I'm going to go for a big one. Can I do a small one? I don't like that. I don't like that. What about if I do large CO2 thing? Here, can I do this? Come on. I would like to connect another one. No, I don't like this. Let's recycle that. Alright. Come on, guys. Gotta think about this. This layout's really hampering me. Actually, what I could do... Let's get the really big storehouse. Do that. Cancel it. And then let's do outside building, starport. And come on. Can I get something over here? No. Okay, outside building. Starport's like your really big landing pad. It's where you can get like the really big ships. And you have to build one before it lets you start bringing in tourists. Basically, visitors who pay you for your services. They come in, eat some of your food and stuff. Oh, thank goodness we have metals. All right. So, it's expensive metals. I'm going to grab a couple more of these bioplastics. Mostly I want metals. Alright, let's see here. I'll give you some vegetables and some starch. And I have to give you some more. Let's do... Because they also have a limited number of items they can take. Coins do not count against that limit. Give you a little bit more starch. Some more vegetables. I'll give you the ores. There we go. And we'll finish it out the rest with money here. There we go. Alright. There we go. Finally. Now we can finally build our processing plant and save ourselves from this lack of materials. So we're going to wait until we get that built, and then we'll build the next stuff. But we're just going to go for a little bit longer, and once I get that processing plant, I'll kind of show you the flow there. And I'll show you how we build a medical bay. Because once you kind of get all that under control, you're good to go. And from there, it's just kind of continuing to expand outwards, with the one exception being security and stuff of that nature, which, you know, I'll continue this series on, maybe in a future video, and we'll start talking about how you lay out your security and plan for that, and plan for having visitors and things like that. And then start getting into some of the more automation type stuff, where you are building bots, and your bots are doing a lot of the manual labor around the base for you. There we go. All right. Once we get these materials in and they get this built, we're going to use the last of them to build our processing units. There we go. We're going to edit this, and we're going to need a metal processor and a bioplastic processor. So there we go. And that was the last of the metal we had. And our laborers run these as well. So notice they use as a laborer, worker. Sorry, they call them workers. And there we go. So now they're going to start making some bioplastics because they have the materials for that. And one of our workers is going to have to go in here and work in the mines. So we're going to turn this back on so they can mine because we're going to need mining done. And this is where you... So now we've gotten the milestone self-sufficiency, meaning we can produce the stuff we need to slowly expand. There we go. Come on. That's enough. These cutscenes, if you click on that, last way too long. But there we go. Now we just need to get a medical base so we can heal up our one injured worker. Because if we get another one injured, then we'll be out of luck. So let's go ahead and lay out our medical bay. Sick bay. Let's see here. Come on. Can I get over here? See, I really, I want to put one over here. But I feel like this is going to be a bad spot for one. Can I get, a biodome if I put one in over here? Come on. See, I feel like I should be able to put one in there. There we go. Alright. So we've got some ore. Ooh, that one was close. Yeah, I landed, right here. Alright. How many injured people we got? I can see one. I'm going to set this... Oh. Our hauler bot's dead. Okay, we've got a new merchant here. What you got? You got a construction bot. Money. What's your commission rate? 50%. Sorry. Alright, so now what we're also going to do is we're going to go back into our landing permissions, and we're going to enable colonists. And notice it gives you a percentage, like how many workers you want, how many biologists you want, how many engineers. And you can see that's all kind of preset a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase our guards to 5%. And that should be about right. And basically, you'll see we'll start getting some colonists. Now, we're going to have to do some work to get ready for that. Because we're going to want a few more workers. That way we have workers in here processing this stuff, as well as workers out here mining. I feel like we must have 2 injured workers. No, we just have one. They're just having... One was on lunch break. Okay. Yeah, see, this guy's working on making bioplastic, but I need him making metals. Can I make... Yeah. I need you making metals, not bioplastics. Here we go. First colonists. What do we get? We got... Alright, we got a guard and another engineer. Dismiss that. There we go. And we got the milestone expansion reached. So there you go. So we've now got more colonists, which is why I built the extra bed. So we already have enough beds for everybody. We're up to 9. Ah, here we go. Someone's making metal. Yay! We can finally build a sick bay and heal up our injured guy. Our injured dude. He's probably been sad about being injured. Well, can I put, another... What are you doing on water? We're doing okay on water. Can I put a solar panel out here? Okay. There you go. I'll put a solar panel out here. There we go. And that'll bridge. So the other thing you can do that I like to do is bridge extra connections, especially as I have extra materials. So that way If this gets severed, these things will still stay connected to the grid. So I'll start building interconnections like that. Now, the thing you have to be careful with when you're doing that, like these outside connections, people can walk over them and stuff. But like these internal connections like this, you'll start getting... You can trap your robots and your people in them if they build them in the wrong order, so you have to be careful with that. Alright, there we go. We've got another worker, which means we have more people doing mining and more people processing ores, and there's our first metal being produced right there. Beautiful. Got another trader coming in. What do you got, trade ship? What's your commission rate? 40%? We can work with 40%. And we're just going to take and sell this person some vegetables. Alright. And there we go. Nice even trade. Not the best. We're getting 18 bucks for 25 bucks worth of vegetables, but it's alright. There we go. That'll keep us getting some more money, because obviously you need money in this game. You can see why I like it. A lot of trading involved. There we go. How are we doing on ores? We got tons of ores. Alright. So we're making ores. That's good. So this guy needs to be priority. And this kind of needs to be priority right now. There we go. Get them focused on processing materials and building the sick bay. Because with our workers getting injured in the mines, we kind of want them being able to get healed up. There we go. We got some more colonists coming in. And what do we have? We have another biologist, which is nice. I'll spread out the workload a little bit. We can always go and see in our base statistics here how many we have. We have 3 biologists now, which is good. We have 2 engineers, 1 medic, 1 guard, and 4 workers. And our 11 colonists total. And it's okay that we don't have enough beds for that, because they can sleep in shifts. Basically, as long as you got enough beds to cover half of your workforce, you're usually okay. Realistically, I'd like to get us some more bots, because that'll help spread out some of the workload. Like, you usually want a good mix of carrier bots and engineer bots, and if you can, eventually you'd like to replace all your miners with drill bots, because drill bots are more efficient, and they don't sleep. Or need food. And your workers can do things like process the materials the drill bots are using or producing while the carrier bots bring them the materials, you know. Like, this carrier bot is almost done. There you go. There you go. Alright, come on. Come here, carrier bot. Slow things down a little so you can click. You see how he's got this decent condition, this integrity? Once that's 0, he's done. You have to replace the bot. You get some of your resources back, but he's gone. You know. So these bots do have a limited lifespan. Unlike your colonists. Your colonists will technically never age out, but they can die. Like, they get too hurt or something, they can die. They starve to death, run out of oxygen. You get attacked by terrorists, they'll gun them down in your hallways. Now, that's a botanist. I didn't really want a botanist. I wanted a worker. I'm probably going to stop accepting colonists soon. Alright. Can I... See, I need this fixed up first here before we get any more injured folk. Okay, good. They finally got the materials they need to build that. So once we get the sick bay built, we'll probably call it there. There we go. Sick bay. No, don't wander up. Okay, the construction bot's coming to build the connection. I was like, don't just leave it half finished. All right. These AIs. Okay, so we need to put in a medical bed, which is just 1 bioplastic, and we'll put in like 2, and we'll put in like a medicine cabinet. There we go. There we go. And now we have another merchant selling ore and starch, which is priced 35% commission is not bad. So what we could do, we can sell 1 bioplastic, and we'll buy a couple ores. Well, he's selling these ores for a lot. How much is the ores worth? Ores worth 10? Okay, well, we'll just sell him some bioplastic for some coin. There we go. There we go. Alright. We'll just take the 20 bucks for 2 bioplastic. There we go. Alright. Oh, see, there we go. You're going to get one more repair out of our carrier bot, and then he's going to be gone. So this is probably his last run here. Poor little carrier bot. There we go. Okay. And see, now they're in here. They're treating our worker. He's getting all healed up. Because they won't work while they're injured like that. There we go. And now he's healed up. He's good to go. Back to work. Back to the mines with you. There we go. Hint repairs. Yeah, I know. So what it's telling us is we're running out of spare parts. Yeah, there it is. We're out of spare parts. Which means we have to build a factory now. Which, if I could get this area flattened out, that'd be great. Come on. Yeah, we're going to have to sneak around here in small things, but that's fine. We will build a factory over here. Factories can have multiple connections. Yep. Because there's actually a symbol. Yeah, see where it says, see that T on this where it says dorm? The T, cabin, T, you know, sick bay, T. That means that there's nothing can connect to that. All right, we got some more workers. What's that? Engineer. Okay, I didn't really need more engineers. What are our stats looking like? We've got 5 workers now, 4 biologists, 3 engineers, 1 medic, 1 guard, and a meteorite nearly crushing our base. Alright. So the other thing I'm going to do now, and this is something I almost always do, there we go, is I'm going to build a very large biodome over here. And I'm going to come over here and actually build a couple more beds, because we're up to 12 beds. We're up to 14 colonists. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 12 beds total. Yeah, we're still alright. Well, I won't build any more beds. But once we get this built up, I'm going to expand our farming significantly. Alright, so we got... Do you have spares? Please tell me you have spares. He has spares. Oh, and he has the driller bot patent. And a driller bot. This is going to be an expensive guy. Yeah, 50% commission. Alright. Well, the spares aren't too expensive. We'll buy the spares. We'll buy them. Well, let's sell you some starch. I can make more starch and some more vegetables. And 1 medical supply. Oh, that's perfect. There we go. We've met him. We'll buy the spares. That way we can fix up stuff. There we go. Because once we get this factory built, we can start making spares. And spares take 1 metal and 1 bioplastic to make. So they're a little pricey. That's why you kind of need this processing going. Alright. And then the other thing I'll do... Let's see here. Thinking about this. Because I got to kind of decide the direction I want to build. If I can get through this little area over here and expand, this will give me lots of building space out here where I can build the main part of my base and redesign. But we're going to call it there, folks, for now. But that's Planetbase. It's a colony survival game that is about managing resources and reaching effectively self-sufficiency to some extent, as well as acquiring technologies to make your life easier and building really nice scenic bases and stuff. I'm just going to slow down time a little bit while I finish my outro. But this has been Thalan McRom. Wow, I can't talk tonight. This has been Thalan McRom bringing you Planetbase. It's a game that I like a lot, and I've played many hours of, and I'll probably come back and revisit it from time to time, and whenever they do release Planetbase 2, you're going to see that on my channel. Sorry if that's not a game you're interested in, folks. Don't worry, I'll still continue on doing my Vintage Story and my Unreal World and other games. Don't worry. It'll just get mixed in there. And I'm also considering some changes for my schedule of when I release what kind of content, just to, you know, make things a little better for everybody, while still allowing me to record the stuff I want to record. But I hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope it showed you something interesting that you may like. And it's kind of in theme with what I originally envisioned with my channel, which is kind of little space trading games and stuff like that. But, it's really weird. It's really hard for me to find the games like that fit into that genre. Though I probably will be doing a... that medic is over top of the worker, so we got another worker. Yeah. The only other game that I have that I'll probably do a video on soon is Star Sector. I don't know if you've ever played Star Sector, but I'll be doing a video on that one soon. But again, thank you all. And if you like this content, like and subscribe, follow me for more content. And if you want to hang out with my community, learn more about some of the games I play and stuff, or just hang out with some cool gamer folk or whatever, I do have I have a Discord. There's a free tier, and then there are paid tiers. Free tiers are welcome to hang out. Paid tiers get access to things like if I set up a Vintage Story multiplayer server, things like that. Sorry about making that differentiation for people, but those servers are not cheap, and I don't make enough money to pay for them. So, we're sharing the load there. That's what that is. Anyways, thank you all so much. Have a great one, and we'll catch you in the next video. Have a great night.